And welcome to to the Kigali Global Dialogue and to our studios, where we are discussing a large number of issues that are of important relevance to the growth and development trajectories and the human development as well of the countries of Africa, South Asia, and Southeast Asia. And we're very happy to have with us at the Kigali Global Dialogue today two young people who have been working very hard in the matter of figuring out how migrants and refugees can better integrate into their host societies. And they are Yusra and Abeera from the Stand Up Foundation in Malaysia. And I'm going to start by asking Abeera to maybe tell us a little about what the Stand Up Foundation is and what it does.
Hi, thank you so much. Yes, sure. So Project Stand Up, shortly named as PSU, it is a project that we have started when we were high school student studying at Refugee school in Malaysia. The reason why we started the program was mainly to address gender inequality needs that happens in our society, mainly having girls access to education and also extracurricular activities, for example, playing football. We've realized our community was quite close-minded when it comes to providing girls these type of opportunities and much more. So we have created our first program called the Champion Education Program that really addressed the need of having less girls go to school. We have partnered up with Refugee school and the umbrella organization, Refugee organization, to help us basically apply our solution to the school students. Our solution had three parts: an app, a training program, and also basically delivering the modules and the training to the school students. So that was our first start. We were quite young at the beginning. We have had our mentors that support us in the process, and we have also received a funding from the Australian Department of Foreign Affairs to cover all the needs for our first program. And from there, we have started to notice that programs like this, empowering youth, giving them chances, opportunities, particularly girls, was much needed in the community. So we have continued to create and deliver more programs, training of skills addressed for refugee youth in particular.
I'm going to turn to Yusra now. Yusra, could you tell us a little bit about how you can create opportunities for younger people, how you can create the leadership that they need to show under these circumstances, and maybe even shared leadership with other young people from the communities that are hosting them?
Right. So at first, actually, we were solely focused on the Somali refugee community because we thought, it's not only Somali that lives there, like a couple of diverse ethnicities live there, like the Arabs, other refugees, like particularly so like the Syrians, Palestinians, Sudanese, originally people from Somalia. So it was quite diverse. So we just were focusing, our target was just that certain community. But after implementing our first program that Abeera just talked about, we realized that there's a lot of other communities like the Rohingya and other refugee communities based in KL. So we started reaching out to them, even though it was quite hard for us to do like a 6-month program. So they didn't want to do because they're very close-minded. So we started to implement like a one-off workshop. So we'd volunteer and go to like universities, educate university students, refugee students in schools. We would go and do workshops to help them encourage and raise awareness on the programs that are available for them, how they can access opportunities and things like that. So that's how we started reaching out to youth.
Right. Yusra, just a follow-up to that question. Do you think that there are, or have you found that there are stereotypes that young people have about each other, about each other's communities, that needs to be overcome in this process? And how do you go about doing that? Are you successful?
Right. So there was a lot of stereotypes, not only among young youth, but also older people had a lot of stereotypes. One of them was when we first did our, recording before we got the grant. We just recorded random people from the community, asking them why are there like less girls accessing education? And literally people started saying girls are meant to be at home. They're meant to be taking care of children, you know? And the response is like very aggressive. And that made us very passionate into creating a change, not only in the Somali refugee community, but like also the wider refugee, that stereotypes, you know, we educated them on the shared responsibilities that if a boy can play sports, a girl can do the same. You know, if a girl can take care of children, boy can do the same. So that's when we started designing our app to address the problem of less women accessing education and breaking the stereotypes. Which how we did was very interesting actually. We would send a boy and a girl into a house, and then the family would be very surprised because they booked, you know, childcare. So they expected a female to come, and then they were very surprised to see a boy and a girl to come do that. So that was a very huge actually change that we've seen.
Thanks. And that's great to hear. Abeera, could you tell us a little bit about, I mean, I'm sure that many of the young people from these migrant communities are often short of the skills that they need in order to get the kind of jobs that they aspire to in their new countries. Are there special ways in which young people from migrant and refugee communities can be given these skills that you have found, that you're working on? What's been your experience in integrating refugees and migrants into the workforce?
Yes. So when we have first started this program that Yusra mentioned, it was like one of the really few youth-led programs and initiative during the time, during 2018-19. And after we have started to develop and do more outreach and also like reach out to different communities at different areas, we have started to notice that, you know, there is an interest in these type of programs, and youth would like to have access to these type of programs. But with the situation that we are in, like in the context of refugees in Malaysia, we have less access to education and stuff like that. So it is really very challenging to see young people, especially refugees, to even look for programs and stuff like that, because they would be quite focused in the survival mode here, like they work for their families, they have to earn money and etc. So it was, in that sense, it was challenging to reach more youth to be interested in these type of programs. But after, more young people got to know that these skills, they can actually use it to have better jobs, we have definitely started to notice that there's more programs created to address young people needs. And we have also seen, many young people participate in, different NGOs, taking up really big roles, I would say, that wasn't offered before. So we kind of like over the years, after we have started, we have seen like a bit of growth in terms of the diversity of jobs taken up by refugee youth.
Thank you both for joining us. This has been a fascinating discussion, and I hope to see you soon in person at the Kigali Global Dialogue or one of ORF's other dialogues. And thank all of you for listening to this very important and fascinating discussion on the question of refugee integration from the Kigali Global Dialogue. Thank you.